Are you a woman looking to advance your career? Are you a woman looking to improve your communication, presentation, confidence skills? If you are, this video is for you. My name is Tatiana, and I'm a certified life coach for women, and I want to help you thrive at home and at work. In today's episode, I want to focus on books and the power of books to change our lives and help us achieve our goals. Today's episode is focused on books, on 5 books that will help you grow professionally. Let me ask you this. What do you do in your daily life today to learn new skills? If college was a good number of years ago, and you stopped that learning and development process, how do you plan to advance your career? Do you attend any classes? Are you a part of any groups? Do you have a coach? Do you have a mentor? Who is helping you? If the answer is no, I would like to encourage you to take charge of your life now and invest in yourself. And the easiest way to do so is through books. I will share 5 books today that have personally helped me in my career. I love to read books. If you've been listening to my channel, you know how what transformational power they had on my life. That's why I love to advocate for more women to read or to listen to books, whatever you can incorporate into your lifestyle. So let's dive in. The first book I would like to recommend is called Nice Girls Don't Get the Corner Office. What is this book about? I will link all the books in the description. The author describes 124 mistakes that we as women subconsciously make on our jobs that sabotage our careers. I want to give you a preview of this book, so let's open it up at any page. Mistake number 17, unwillingness to capitalize on relationships. What does this mean is if you're not building relationships at work, you're missing out, and that's a big mistake. And at the end of each chapter, you see she lists a mistake, but she also lists coaching tips. It's an incredible resource. And let's see what she says in terms of coaching for this mistake. Ask for introductions. If there is someone you'd like to know at a meeting or a party, ask the person organizing the event to make an introduction. This book is going to help you is she will identify the mistake and tell you how to overcome the mistake. This is a book and a coach all in one. Get this book and you will see how many new skills that you will acquire and how much faster you will be able to advance. Book number 2, How Women Rise. This book is similar to the previous book in terms of how do we advance? What can we do to advance in our careers? And here the author talks about 12 habits that hold us back. Let's take a look. Habit number 10, too much. As a woman, you may have found yourself having to tamp down your emotional register when you're in professional situations. Okay, too much emotion. Do you know how to handle strong emotions on the job? Or do you let them take over your life? So, this is one of the habits that is holding you back. And in this book, the author will help you understand how you can cope with this. And again, I just read you one example. Let's say Number 1, reluctance to claim your achievements, right? Women trying to appear modest, trying to not take credit for their jobs because you do this because you enjoy it, whatnot. If that's you, again, if that's one of the habits that's holding you back, now you know why you might not be advancing. So again, pick up, you don't have to read all 5 of these books that I'm going to recommend, but at least pick something and grow professionally. All books will be linked in the description. Now, let's move a little bit into the conversation about our communication skills and public speaking. Public speaking in particular. So many people get scared of public speaking without realizing that you actually can learn public speaking, and it's a skill just like anything else you learn. So the great book, I absolutely love this book. It's called Talk Like Ted. In this book, the author talks about 9 secrets of public speaking and what you can do to make your presentations more impactful, more memorable, and more convincing. These principles in this book are based actually the most popular TED Talks. The author analyzed thousands of TED Talks to understand what content the audience enjoyed most and why. So, and published a book. Let me take a look. Let's see. Okay, I'll give you an example. Chapter 2, Master the Art of Storytelling. Stories are just data with a soul. So in this chapter, he tells you how to incorporate stories into your presentations so that your message can stick better and your audience can retain this better. This is especially crucial if you have a lot of presentations to the C-suite, if you work with leadership, and if you want to advance yourself in your organization. How often, if you work in a corporate setting, how often do you hear a phrase, build your executive presence? Right? This part refers not only to the way you look, the way you present yourself, but also your ability to communicate and your ability to present information. So it reads very easily. Talk like Ted. Book number 4 is called Fierce Conversations. This book focuses more on communication. It talks about how you can improve your communication, how you communicate more clearly, and how you can get your point across. I think communications is one of those skills that people learn throughout life. Communications is the skills we use on everyday basis. Yet it's so challenging. How fast can you get your idea across? Do you start with a lot of words and it takes time for you to formulate your question or to articulate what it is that you're trying to say? And this is particularly important in the workplace. When you go into a meeting, you have limited amount of time, and in order to get your idea across to the team, you need to be able to formulate this better. Similarly, this also talks about having strong emotions in the workplace. How do you, there are workplace, just like any other environment, it can raise our emotions really high, and respond to these situations matter, and it matters to a point where you can you may lose your job if you're not able to cope. And what she teaches you is 7 principles of fierce conversations. Let's take a look. Principle number 2: come out from behind yourself into the conversation and make it real. No one has to change, but everyone has to have the conversation. Some deep thoughts here. And again, I just read you the headline, but it gives you kind of an example of how powerful this book is, because it doesn't just talk on the surface, it goes deeper into the real issues. The last book on my list is The Well Spoken Woman. This book is your guide, really, how to be more confident, how to improve your communication, how to look the part, right? We forget that how we look and how we present ourselves, how we talk, and how we react, it all matters. It's all part of one package. You can't really grow professionally in one way and not the other. So I think, and maybe that's why I left it for the last book on my list, because I feel like it wraps up everything that you would have learned in these books to present this well-rounded image and well-rounded understanding of really a confident woman, a well-spoken woman, a confident woman. This book is divided into 4 parts. The whole you, your package. What does your package say about you? How you present yourself? Part 2, maximize body parts. Again, this is your body language, and I hope you already know that It's not just how you talk, but it's also how you present yourself. That's part of your personal brand message. Part three, the outward trappings. How do you react to spontaneous situations? Can you talk on camera? Do you write well? Does that translate into speaking well? And part four, the finishing touches, the art of diplomacy and how to speak well. The way she divided into four topics helps you better understand that there are multiple components that are involved into your entire, let's say, personal brand image that you represent in the work environment. Let's peek inside. Chapter 6, Pre-Planned Spontaneity. One of the basic causes of all the trouble in the world today is that people talk too much and think too little. They act impulsively without thinking. I always try to think before I talk. So, what does this chapter talk about? When you have spontaneous situations, you can actually be prepared for them. For example, on a topic of corporate world and environment, if you are walking down the hall and your leadership team, your CEO comes in and you share a minute of conversation, are you prepared to address that? It doesn't have to be a CEO, it could be a manager. Or if you're part of the meeting and you're asked spontaneously to say a few words about the project or something, are you prepared? This is exactly what this book teaches you. She goes into all possible scenarios that we as women encounter at work and what we can do, how we can learn. And remember, it's everything is skills. All you need to do is to have the desire to learn. I hope this video was helpful for you, and I hope you pick up a book and learn new skills and thrive in your work. Let me know in the comments what book caught your attention that you would like to get next.